Hello everyone, hope you're well. Welcome today at the presentation for December's Tea Road box. So if it's your first time, your first monthly subscription, welcome to this new gift you offered yourself. Otherwise, for the people, it's their second box. Welcome back. Hope you had enjoyed last month November teas we chose for you. Hope you tasted them all and that you enjoyed. So thank you for your feedback you gave me already. It's a pleasure to receive your comments and to improve every time. So I'm really happy today to present you the teas you just received, so you can appreciate them even better. So maybe you saw the video from last time. So my name is Daniel, and I'm here in a really natural, simple way. There's no cutting of the video, so it's just one-shot deal. I give you as if you would be with us. You could just talk together. You're in a little spot in my home where it's not too there's not too many things. So I welcome you really naturally. And I can tell you now it's end of November. We're getting into the Christmas season, and I'm a bit tired. So if you feel, does that guy look tired from what I see, his eyes? Yeah, you're right. So I'm really happy to be with you here. And but yeah, my Christmas time with the pandemic, nothing is really, the tea house is not in danger. We have full support of our customer base is great, like wonderful. And but it's just a stressful moment to go through. We don't know how things will go, and we have to be really creative and really do more than twice in energy wise. We have to give more than twice to receive what we normally do. Everything is more complicated. So but today tea is not complicated, it's just pure fun. So I'm really happy to show you the teas. So I've put a bit more this time, because I wanted to make it more like a gift, a bit like unpacking Christmas stockings. And you feel, oh, I have that, oh, that. So there's 70s from what I remember. Yeah, 70s. You have a little gift, a little surprise at the bottom. So yeah, we'll go through the teas. So in order of taste, we'll go from the lighter to the bit more strong. We have a white tea by Aoi Zen. I've put that one because for me, white tea, that type of only the bud, really mellow and kind of expensive now by Aoi Zen. It's a bit more like champagne, so I thought maybe that would be fun, like to open that at midnight, just on the eve of the new year, that we can say bye-bye to 2020. That was a good one, a really intense one. So by Aoi Zen is kind of we'll just speak a bit more about it in a few moments. So it's a really light and mellow and textured white tea that maybe you'll discover if it's not done yet. So it's kind of a treat. After that, I promised some Japanese tea. Last month there was no Japanese tea, so you're privileged to taste Sencha Irudori, which is a tea that we had before in the first couple of years of chai. And I remember really liking this tea, but kind of it was a bit like there was too many Sencha at that time, and we had certain teas were a bit walking on the feet of others. There was too much taste that were kind of the same, and I was kind of sad to get rid of that one from the selection, and I brought it back because I had that kind of nostalgia that I liked it so much. So I brought it back, and I think after making the box we'll maybe have some more to sell, so it will probably appear on our website and in the shop, so you can order more afterwards if you really liked it. Really creamy, really dense, and really comforting sencha. So this one. After we have two oolongs from the Wui, so Yancha oolong rock tea. So Shui Xian Lao Zong, which is a light roast. So it's a light medium actually, but it's really light. It's almost like we know that Yancha normally are really cheaper ones anyway, are dark roasted, they are heavy roasted, and often not real charcoal, but those two are charcoal roasted. This one is light medium, and I have put a Shui Jingui, which is a medium roast. So two different varietals from the same place, not the same producers though, and but with two roast levels also, so you can compare them. I think it's really interesting, as there's dozens of cultivars in the Wui to make Yancha, but those two are really classic ones. Shuixian, it's kind of, you can find it quite easily, but Shui Jingui is kind of harder to find, and it's one of the ones that were growing wild in the Wui from many centuries. So it's one that is really original from the Wui Mountains, and Shuixian was brought later, I believe, from Guangdong. So yeah, so those two, we'll just discuss a bit more about their specific taste later. Afterwards, we have two black teas. And I put like those two darker oolongs and those two black teas because it's winter, and winter is, you want some comfort. You don't need necessarily to be refreshed, I think, unless you overeat overheat. Yeah, sorry about my English. Overheat your house. But anyway, just organically, it's better to have darker teas in winter. So I've put one black tea from Taiwan, the Sun Moon Lake T18, which is to me the best from all the Sun Moon Lake black teas. There's many cultivars, T14, T15, and T18 is definitely the best. So a black tea that has some classic roots, because it's a hybrid between wild oolong plant from Taiwan and Assamica cultivar from Burma that have been crossed together, and to give that kind of really particular taste of classic and wild a bit in the we'll just taste it also later. And the other black tea is Assam. It's a hand-rolled Assam, Lasumoni Golden Tips. It's really not the English breakfast style of Assam. It's really a light and aromatic, really fun Assam that is produced in small quantity. So that's a kind of a rare, and those two teas have arrived in ours lately. The new harvests were a bit earlier this year, but everything being slow this year, those two teas just arrived during the fall period. And at the bottom of the box you have that little gift I wanted to offer you for Christmas. So it's kind of a Christmas gift, no wrapping of Santa Claus, but it's tangerine pu'er for people. Many people ask me to get some for them in the shop, and I said, oh yeah, it's a good, again, folkloric stuff a bit, but really it's fun. And I thought that it's really nice for Christmas for two reasons. First thing is, when I was young and I was complaining about the gift I received, and that's not exactly the Lego I wanted, or that video game. And my dad was saying, when I was young, sometimes my only gifts were orange in my Christmas stocking, and I was like, wow, why orange? It's really normal. There's nothing special about it. So yeah, when I was young, orange were only one time of the year, and it was a really special thing. Okay. So I thought pu'er is really good for Christmas period. We eat too much, lots of fat, sugar, alcohol. We overeat, and pu'er is really good for that. So I thought that's kind of a nice parallel to do between the orange pu'er. So it's kind of the citrus peel, and inside it's pu'er leaf that have been hidden on the bottom and inside, and dried like this and aged for a few years like this. So I'll show you how to brew it later, but I thought that's really interesting, and it will be like a little nice surprise. So let's brew some tea. I'll show you first, before brewing, I'll just show you the leaves of the Baiao Yinzhen. Actually, it's not leaves, it's only buds. I don't know if you like our new packaging, but I like the natural look. We just wanted to make a little something a bit more special with the box. So last month we didn't add time, but this time, yeah. Okay, so it's only really airy little silver buds, and sometimes there are little pieces of first leaf or something, but normally it's really clean and really only buds. And that's why we say white tea is white, because all those that little fur, that baby hair that are on the buds to protect them from wind and sunlight. So those little buds contain some essential oil and really fragile aromas. And it's a fragile tea, and the way it's brewed, it's mellow and super smooth. There's no excess of tannins or anything that will be astringent or harsh. It's really mellow in texture. It's a bit like a licorice wine, you know, so really smooth, and you could almost chew it. And you have that kind of really spring-like, like clover field, clover honey, and hay, fresh hay, you know, in this tea. That normally, when I started to do tea, it was not that expensive. Now it's probably the increase that was a bit the most surprising since 10 years. It's like it's almost 3 times what we were paying at first. So the demand in China is huge on this tea, and Fuding is really small. So it's a really small place. So there's other areas like Zhenghe and Yunnan that produce white tea, but it's not real white tea. So this is from Fuding, and we're lucky to have a new tea producing family. This the Chen family that are really good at making that the traditional way. So I hope you'll enjoy this release. So you can use this in Gaiwan, in a glass, a bit like we did the Taiping Ukui last month, if you want to go watch the other video from last month. Or you can just make it in a large teapot. Not larger the teapot, less concentrated it will be. You'll need to put more leaves, and that's kind of a waste a bit. So smaller vessel is better for this type of tea. If you use a Gaiwan, like in Sichuan, you could just put the leaves, water, and drink from it like this. And the lid is just helping the leaves to stay in, so you don't drink them, and you just drink the brew, the tea soup, and you can just add more water once in a while just to top it and to warm it up again. So you can brew many times that tea in smaller vessel like this. It's quite generous, even if it's really looks weak, but it's really soft tea. Yeah. So I have hot water. I'll just sorry if my light is doing this. We're in the night is coming soon. So Sencha Irodori. This sencha comes from Uji Tawara, actually, from Yano family, 6th generation of tea makers. They make the matcha, cooking grain matcha, and Etenraku and Uji no Shiro, and they make the Genmaicha also for us. So it's a really traditional family, and this sencha is really smooth, dense, powerful. Like it's full of potential, and you can rebrew it many times. So you can brew this tea in a large teapot, just a normal, it's almost like a Walmart teapot, like a huge teapot, but the best would be to brew it in Kyushu, which is the teapot I really recommend for Japanese tea. If you're a Japanese tea lover, that makes a huge difference. Inside you have a mesh, this one is a clay mesh kind of filter, really fine filter, or some is stainless steel inside, but really, really fine. And that makes that you can just drain the whole thing out in your cup. The leaves stay in, and you drink from a larger cup. You can have those cups that are like a pair, the husband and wife cup like this, or just like a local potter, that kind of cup that is Japanese style like this. So by having a really fine mesh, you retain all the little crumbs, the little broken leaves that from machine harvest, and that gives texture and that gives color in the cup. And you don't want to filter them out completely, but you don't want big pieces of leaf to come out. That's kind of a bit sluggish at the bottom of your cup. It's not fun. So you warm up your pot easily, like any other tea vessel. And what's fun with those teapots is to pour towards you instead of pouring from the side. So you have that kind of feeling of it's really more precise. Yeah, I really love that kind of teapot. I have too many. I have some at the shop. There's not so many on the website. They go really fast and they're a bit difficult to find. So our order we placed with Japan, everything is slow this year with COVID, and I don't think it will arrive on time for Christmas, unfortunately. So this one is a blend actually from Saimidori. There's Yabukita for very intense flavor and Okumidori for the kind of flowery aspect of it. So Saimidori is a cultivar I really enjoy myself. So you pour water, not disturbing the leaves too much. This is 75 Celsius water. I'll drain this here. That's really useful for this type of setting. If you're like in a corner in watching hockey, or you're not by the sink, that's really fun to have that little tea boat. So just do a little twist turn. So it's really on the shorter side than a long way of brewing. Like if you put less leaves, you could brew like 4 minutes and all that, but it's that type of tea you don't want to go watch a movie, or go change the diaper of your kid, or go cooking something. You have to be close, because that's the type of tea that it can become bitter really fast. So you don't want to do too many things. It's better to stay close. And like this, my leaves will stay. They will wait until next brew, and you can brew probably 4 or 5 times that kind of tea, as long as it's during the day, at least, not the day after. So we'll taste, and I'll tell you a bit what I feel from it. It's sweet and vibrant. You really have the asparagus and really cashew nut butter, and kind of an exotic fruit in that one. I never tasted it before. Even in the French version, I didn't taste that note. It's kind of passion fruit. It's really nice, actually. So you really have that asparagus, nutty, creamy and smooth, a bit popcorn, kind of that kind of note, and really fresh, and basil. It's kind of that herb, that aromatic herb, a bit basil or tulsi or something like this. Really fresh and green and a bit camphory. Yeah, and that passion fruit note, that's new. Really happy to discover that with you. Should not drink too much. It's almost 5 o'clock now. So that's high in caffeine, and the second brew will have a bit less, and the third less, and fourth. But it's not true that if you can brew one shot and throw it away and then there's no caffeine in the tea, that's a fake news. So you don't want to do that. It's better to choose teas that are lower in caffeine from the beginning to make your evening drinks like this. Yeah. So Sencha Irodori, we've put 40 grams in there, so you can play with it for a little mini cups. Okay. So the 2 oolongs, I'll just put that here. Voila. The 2 oolongs. I'll show you the leaves. Shuexian is really on the flowery and more like a flower nectar, almond, fresh almond type of aroma. Because it's not roasted so much, so it was kind of a greener oolong, it's less oxidized, and also the roast is really light. So it will bring more that kind of light and refreshing notes, even if it's on the woody side because of the terroir, the rock terroir, so really mineral. Still have that kind of sweet sap notes that are really, really interesting. So Shuexian means it's the water fairy, and Lao Tsong is old bush. So there's young bush, Shuexian, so it's just mentioned Shuexian. And Shuexian, Lao Tsong have that kind of a bit more rustic feeling to it, but more deeper than normal Shuexian. And we chose that one because it's really original. I never saw a Shuexian that light, and it's really nice, really, really nice. Those type of tea, the yancha, are really, really good for when it's damp and cold. Our bladder and liver are prone to become sluggish. So cold and wet. In Chinese medicine, they will say that type of tea will help to heat inside and dry those organs that are becoming less effective. And if you have your fire inside is less good, is thinner, you won't be able to digest well, and then the energy goes to that, and then it's wasted from other parts, the immune system and brain functions and circulatory functions. So everything is slowed down because of those organs not being dry enough and warm enough. So those type of teas do that, also because of the charcoal roast. And you'll feel it more in the Shui Jingui. Shui Jingui is medium, as we say. And many people think that Hui oolongs are smoky, but it's because those are kind of TNT or Chinatown yancha, because they are over roasted to give them flavor that they don't have. They want to give some substance, but they are kind of empty because it's not good tea. But that one is medium, so you don't want to over bake something that is really good. So medium roast is, to me, kind of the maximum I can go. And Shui Jingui is really known for its kind of walnut, hazelnut notes, a bit maple syrup, cane sugar, that type of note. Honey. So you really have that feeling, a really comforting, bit like almost like peanutty feeling to it. So really cocooning tea. And Shui Jingui means the golden water turtle. So that's a really authentic native cultivar from the Hui. And those two are, you can just brew them in a large teapot, in a gaiwan, in a gongfu cha like this, those little buddies here, the yixing, or and you can brew them many times. Boiling water, rebrew. It's really that type of tea that you go until the end. It gives so much. You can even brew the second day. That's fine. Yeah, it's really it's teas that I really enjoy, and often like people know Dongding and CG Chun from Taiwan, and really flowery and light. But those teas are a bit less known, but they really people need to get to know them better, because they're really, really good, really fun, really comforting. Yeah, so hope you'll like that comparison together like this, so you can really compare two cultivars, two roasting levels. Yeah. Okay, Another comparison, I thought, I like that kind of geeky stuff of comparing. So Assam, so to revisit a classic, Latumoni Golden Tips, don't think you can sustain milk so much. It's really light, aromatic. You have that kind of tomato, cane sugar, apricot, barley malt feeling to it. It's a hand picked, hand rolled, so it's really like not that type of English breakfast style, as I was saying. And Sun Moon Lake, so Assamika also in part, so its ancestor was Assamika. And the way I like to brew these teas, for maybe some of you have come to workshops at the shop before, and I do some tea and meditation workshop. And tea meditation workshop, I like to present that new technique. Actually, it's not a new technique. It's a new technique for these videos, but it's a really old way of preparing the tea, the ancient way, I would say. And it's with just something really simple. It's just having a bowl and a bit of tea inside. And you don't need teapot, you don't need yixing, you don't need silver kettle or whatever. You just need that really simple 1 teaspoon at the bottom, a few leaves even at the bottom of a bowl. A nice bowl can be like a handmade bowl like this, but it can be a bowl that is really important to you, not too big, but a bowl that will just make you can watch the leaves. And you have hot water like this. You just pour over the leaves, super simple, like this, and you wait, and when it's ready, I'll just do as if 2 minutes passed. So 2 minutes later, you have those leaves that just fallen down, sinked at the bottom of the bowl, and you can just start having a sip. And at the beginning, it's really light because the leaves are at the bottom, and where the leaves are, the tannins are a bit more intense. So when you drink the first sips, you just enjoy like the mellowness, so it wakens up your taste buds, and you can just have that kind of sweetness, and more it brews, and more you go down there where the leaves are. You enter like intensity a bit, but it's not harsh because you don't put too many leaves. And to do that technique, you need a tea that is all leaf. So oolongs can be Chinese green tea, a bit like the glass last time. So it's the same concept. So leaves are floating in, and you don't drink them. You drink the brew, and they kind of at one point over steep, but it's never a lot because there's no little crumbs like a tea bag or a Japanese green tea. You don't have that little muddy feeling to it. It's like large leaf that you see expand, and you can just add more water when it goes a bit too intense, or you go down a bit. You just add more water to top it off, and you drink again. No mental going like how many teaspoons I should make and put, and is that a good temperature, and maybe I poured in a cup that is a bit rougher than the other one. No mental. You just take the tea as it is. And to me, it's a bit the idea of accepting the things how they are. They come to you. That's the only moment there is, and the only situation there is. So no commenting, no interpretation. You just enjoy the tea as it is now, and no comments about it. Just inside, you just appreciate how it is. A bit like the steps in life. Sometimes there's rougher moments, and sometimes you have a bit more spaciousness between the events, and so you can just enjoy a bit more. So right now with the COVID, we're into the bottom of the bowl. You know, with Christmas time, to me, it's kind of the bottom of the bowl. Maybe for you, it's not the case. Good. So I wish for you that you're relaxed and enjoying the ride. But anyway, so you can just enjoy the ride one sip at a time, like this. And when you're a bit deeper and you feel, yeah, I wouldn't put a bit more, you just add a bit more, and that's it. And you can like put more and more water until you have no more fun. But that way you can see the leaves open and you have a relationship to the leaves that is really different. It's not the same experience. To me, it's the way that the Chinese were drinking the tea the first time, just as if you would brew mint or something without having that kind of intelligentsia or snobbishness about it or whatever. You just drink the tea really, really simple, like from the wild, you know, and no investment in teapots. So I will not. If everyone would doing that, I would not sell teapots anymore. I would need to sell bowls, not even. But to me, it's like a really, really fun to rediscover in a simple way. And you can brew the Assam like this also. So I do the Sun Mulek in my workshops because I find it's a really tea that is really interesting from the beginning until the bottom, you know. And you could do the oolongs like this, the white tea for sure. Yeah, so hope you will try this during a relaxed day during the Christmas time, holiday season. So Sun Mulek, just to give a bit mental thing about the aromas, definitely like menthol, a bit like how you call that, wintergreen, molasses, cherry, a bit peach now, and yeah, eucalyptus, a bit black olives also, a bit less olives in that one, but sometimes really, really good. Really like mint kind of. Hope you'll enjoy this. I think we have put for you 25 grams of each of the black teas. So, and the last, that little thing here. So inside, how it looks. So maybe you'll feel like, oh, I'll keep it for another day, you know, or another year or something. I'll keep it. No, open it, because it's now. Christmas is now, and I chose that for you. And inside, you'll see it's inside the wrapping. It's a little tangerine like this, and inside it's not too tight. It's quite loose actually. You could just pour it like in a bowl or something, and you can keep it in. And when you put in a gaiwan or a teapot or just a basket infuser in your cup, just put some piece of orange from it. Put it in the tea. You put it in the basket to brew. So you'll brew the orange peel at the same time as the pour. And we have to be honest, it's not a Yiwu, Banzang mountain pour. It's a good ripe pour that has been put in orange like this. So it's not. It's the tasting notes are a bit like leather, like a kind of a handbag feeling to it, and exotic wood, like old furniture, have that kind of taste, and a bit fruity also because of the orange. But it's really like an experience. It's not, I'm not saying it's a champagne, but it's a really good everyday drinking pour with that kind of orange note to it that has been passed through the orange to the tea, and the peel being brewed as well with the tea. So that's I think it's a really fun experience that can be made. So this tea you can brew it anyway. You just don't want to eat the leaves. You don't want to eat the dust or the leaves from it. You would chew on a Sun Mulek tea or Japanese green tea, that's fine, but not pour. So Chinese say it's really important to not eat the leaves of pour. So I hope you'll enjoy this also. That's maybe the first time you have it. It was my second time, and this one was definitely better than the one I had. Someone sent me a sample one day, or brought me some. Maybe a customer brought me a little orange like this, and it was, oh, and this one is good. Yeah, this one is it's quite good, actually. So I hope that you'll enjoy the tea. That I hope you're well, and that you'll spend really good time with family or not. Here in Quebec, we don't know yet if we'll be able to see each other. Apparently, yes, but pandemic going on, we don't know. And so be well, enjoy each cup, each moment, and stay safe. And hope you'll enjoy the tea. I hope that so many people told us in the comments on Facebook, on by email, that that box is kind of a little light, candle light in the darkness of their days, and it's really touching because to me tea is like that. I always say that tea is can be a really nice guide during a day. You can just punctuate your day with that kind of a bit like a gong, dong, or the bells ringing that just bring you back to God or whatever. It's just to come back to the essence of now. And to me, tea is that. Tea is kind of have that potential of bringing you in to your essence, to your real you. So I hope that these teas that you offer yourself or offer to someone else or you received as an offering will just greet your days. And I hope to see you again soon and hope to hear from you. So please feel free to tell me how you find it, and if you have questions on specific teas, it will be a pleasure. I cannot say everything I want to say in a half an hour video like this, but it would be a pleasure to connect with you and just receive your feedback and stories about these tea, pictures also. Please feel free. So love you very much, and take good care. Talk to you soon. Hope for maybe in January, if you have the next month's box, we'll be there. So thank you. See you soon.